Anyone got a pencil? Hello and welcome to the Mixtape podcast. My name's Mark and I am your host. Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's episode. Every week on the show, I ask my guests to make up an imaginary mixtape and pick 6 tracks for it. I've had some incredible chats. They're already there in the archives, just waiting for you to stumble across them. I've had chats with Steve Kilby from The Church, Rowetta from The Happy Mondays, Rick from Ash. I've had Al Anderson, one of the original Wailers. I've had Clint Boone from Your Spiral Carpets. I've had Donita Sparks from L7. I've had Scott Kirkland from The Crystal Method. There's lots and lots of episodes sitting there waiting for you to discover. If you enjoy this week's episode, please feel free to rate it 5 stars on Spotify and or jump up to the top of the page and hit that old follow or subscribe button, and you'll be notified every time there is a new episode. Catch up with everything I'm doing by going to www.themixtapepodcast.com. That's enough for the intro. I hope you enjoy this week's episode. Hello, it's another mixtape, and today on the show, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome Graham Crabb from PWEI itself. How are you, Graham?
I'm good, thanks. Thank you for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure, mate. Thanks for coming on the show. Really, really appreciate it. Now, you're coming to Australia February and March. Greatest Hits Tour with Jesus Jones. I'll just roll the dates off really quickly. It's 29th of Feb, the Triffid in Brisbane. The 1st of March, Manning Bar in Sydney. 2nd of March, Croxton in Melbourne. And the 3rd of March, Frio Social in Perth. MetropolisTouring.com for all the tickets and info on those. Has it been a while since you've been to Australia, Graham?
I think it's been about 2 years or just under 2 years. That's kind of the frequency we do it. Obviously, it's not just down the end of the road, is it? It's the other side of the world.
No, that's right.
Yeah, no, we love coming over here, and we'll keep coming as long as they ask.
We love seeing you over here, mate. And obviously, the clues in the title, I normally ask bands who are coming to Australia what we can expect, like sort of set wise from you, but it's a Greatest Hits Tour, so the clues in the title there. But anything you can let us know, any curveballs or anything you might be throwing in, any surprises in the set?
So it's mainly, the bangers, the singles, the tracks that people know us for the best. So it should be quite a party vibe. There's one track I think we're doing which we've never done before, so it's a version of 92 Degrees. Playing the first ever. We did a few versions of it, but we're playing the first version that that came out, which hasn't been heard live before. So that might be interesting for a few people.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Hopefully, everyone will be enjoying that. And I spoke to Mike Edwards a few weeks ago about the tour, and he was buzzing for it. And he said, that he can't wait to get down and hang out with you. Like, do you get on well with the lads from Jesus Jones, and have you toured with them before?
We've not toured with them before, but yeah, we know each other, and it's weird how we've not really played together because we kind of get lumped together, and along with EMF as well, and we've toured with EMF, but not with Jesus Jones. So this will be the first time, and yeah, it'll be good to hang out together.
And when you're on tour, Graham, like do you like to make the most of it? Obviously, like you mentioned, it's a long, long way to come. You're 4 dates back to back there. You haven't really got much downtime, but will you be getting out and about and doing much sightseeing or getting around and seeing the place at all?
Yeah, so what we didn't want to do is just fly straight over, go into the gigs and fly straight back. So we've worked it so that we get I think nearly 2 days at Brisbane to begin with. So we get some, we can get used to the time difference and everything. And then after the last gig at Perth, we're taking a day out as well, and just going down the beach or whatever, having a barbie, all the typical things before we head back.
Okay. I want to talk to you as well, Graham. I noticed from your socials on your Instagram, a couple of posts about a book, Best of the RCA Years, was it, Volume 1? Can you tell us anything about that, or is it a little bit sort of secret squirrel under wrap?
Yeah, so it's mainly Adam at the band who he's kind of memory man. He remembers stuff, and he tells a good story. So he liaises with a guy called Paul Schnell, who, he's the author of the book, and they've started piecing everything together. So one volume is out already, which was the kind of independent years before we signed to RCA.
Mhm.
So I gather they've just finished. It's all put together and it's ready to go. I don't think they've started taking orders yet, but they're about to any day soon.
Mhm.
And they apparently just had so much stuff that they were going to cover a number of years with this volume, but I think it's just basically the first year or two. So
Right. Okay. Yeah. Chock
there's
full.
a lot of stuff in there.
So what is it like a tour diary sort of memoir sort of thing of the story of the band or?
Yeah, a lot of stories, the artwork, the flyers, all the designs, the gigs. Yeah, just kind of everything that there's a record of,
Yeah.
all put together.
Yeah. Cool. And if people want to connect with the band, Graham, is it? I saw the sort of merch page was shopwilleatitself.com. Is that where people can get hold of the book?
Yes, yeah, it will be available on there, and I think it's going to be limited edition. I know the first one was, and I think they have to do that because some of the photographers give the rights to their photos, but that they have to be limited edition. So
Right.
you
Okay.
might have to
Yeah.
get in
Yeah.
quick.
And yeah, so for anyone listening, if you're listening on the radio, it's shopwilleatitself.com. And if you're listening on the podcast or watching on the YouTube channel, then there will be a link in the description to shopwilleatitself.com and Pop Will Eat Itself socials and everything else. So you can just drop out of the chat and connect that way. Okay, Graham. So I'm going to ask you, as we talked about before I started recording, my show is called The Mixtape. And obviously, gentlemen of our age and era, that was a good way of, sharing music, and getting your mates into music. And, back in the day on the cassette
Yeah.
tape. So I like to ask guests to kind of make up like an imaginary mixtape of tracks. And then we'll have a brief chat about the tracks and sort of why you picked them. So whenever I make up a mixtape or these days, more likely a playlist, I always go in with a track one, like a tension grabber, to really kick it off like really well. So if you were making up a mixtape, what track would you pick for that?
I'm gonna go Fight the Power, Public
Oh,
Enemy.
fantastic choice. Fantastic choice. Yeah, that's a great one. That I got some great memories of Public Enemy on the school bus. I remember one time, the first time I ever heard, is it Nations of Millions that's on the Hammersmith gig at the start with the
Yeah,
siren and that?
that's
Is it?
right.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah. I remember sitting on the bus to London Zoo from on a school trip and hearing that for the first time, because as a 15-year-old boy thinking this is a game changer. This, like, what is going on here? Like, this is unbelievable. Yeah, fantastic choice. And Public Enemy,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
obviously a
remember
fantastic
getting
band.
like, getting that album and just playing it just back to back really for a couple of weeks and just
Yeah,
thinking, wow,
yeah,
this is up a level. This
yeah.
is something else.
Didn't you? I read somewhere. Didn't you tour with Public Enemy or supporting Run DMC, or did you replace them on tour or something like that?
Yeah, so it was back in was it 87 or 88? And we were asked by Rush Management, who managed Run DMC, if we would support them on a UK and European tour. By the time the gig came round, Public Enemy were on it as well, but Public Enemy had kind of surpassed
Mm.
Run DMC at that point. So,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's quite a partisan crowd, It was,
yeah, yeah,
it was Public Enemy were, just that's what most people were there for, even though
mm,
Run DMC were the
yeah,
headliners.
yeah.
And so we got a lot of stick off the crowd, as did other acts who were on that bill. Even
Anyone who wasn't Public Enemy.
I think we Papa Girl rappers were on it, and they took some stick, and Derek B as well. So we
Derek
weren't
B,
missing
that's a
much.
blast from the past. Derek B is a
Yeah,
bad young
yeah,
brother.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is oh, yeah, brilliant. Love that. Love that. All right, is he still going at all? I don't know. I'll have to look that up. I'm going to Google him after this.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Oh, Derek B, that is a blast from the past there. Okay, and track two, Graham, of your mixtape, and I ask you to pick a song that you sing when you're on your own, loud and proud in the car or the shower.
Okay, so that's going to be "Piece of Me" by Britney Spears.
Ah, nice. I love that. You know what I love about doing the mixtape, right? One of the best things is like when I speak to people like yourself, and everybody does it. Like
Yeah,
there's a sort of preconception that someone in a band like Pop Will Eat Itself will not stay in their genre, but I would never
Yeah.
expect you to pick a Britney Spears song. Do you know what I mean? And I remember I had Donita Sparks from L7, and she picked like ABBA. And yeah, it was just like, it blew me away. I love that. But that's the idea of the format, is to sort of get to sort of, what you're into, and, what music you listen to, and what inspires you, and what makes you happy. And yeah,
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 I think
fantastic choice.
that's the beauty really of a mixtape, is like you can throw in choices that would seem poles apart, and they have much more punch because they're unexpected, or because they are so different to the preceding track.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, fantastic choice. And what I've started doing there is I've got six Spotify playlists. Track 2, track 3, track 4, track 5, track 6. So all the track 1s are on a playlist, all the track 2s are on a playlist, and yeah, it's quite a buzz to go through that. And when we get to track 6, that's one of my favourite playlists to listen to at the moment. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Track 3, Graham, is pick your favourite cover version. What would you pick for that?
For now, I'll go walk this way. For me, it works better than just the original on its own.
100%. I think that was a real moment of, how can I put it? It was a milestone in like in rap and hip hop crossing over, I think, into the mainstream. That track was,
The hip
just
hop
a
and rock worlds collided. Yeah, it was.
massive worldwide hit like that. Track 4 is a song you wish you could have played to your 18-year-old self.
Okay, I'm gonna go Head Like a Hole, 9 Inch Nails.
Nice, nice. Love that track. Have you ever seen them live, Graham?
Yeah, we toured with them in the States, and
Nice. How
they
good was that? I
were.
bet that was an experience. You must have some good stories from that tour.
Yeah, well, we signed to Trent Reznor's Nothing label over
Mhm.
there, and
Yeah,
so we supported them, and I mean, they were a big band. They were playing like basketball stadiums, like 20,000 people a night.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's something else.
Unreal. There's a series on Netflix called, what's it called now? Exploding the Song or something it's called. And it's just the artists talk about one particular song of theirs, and Trent Reznor was on talking about Hurt, and that it's pretty Hate Machine, that album, that song's off on it, I think. Yeah, yeah, fantastic documentary if you get the chance. There's some really good, like they really dive deep into the song. And he
Yeah,
was talking a lot about being on tour at the time when that was written, and how he was
yeah.
feeling and what it was like. And yeah, amazing doco. It's well worth checking out. And I don't know, they still tour, and he does a lot of soundtrack work and stuff like that now, doesn't he? Trent
Yeah,
Reznor.
not so much now. I think yeah, he's gone more into his soundtrack thing, and then he had a band with his missus, didn't he? I think.
Oh, did
Um,
he? Oh, right, okay.
yeah, I think he's been doing something with her.
What do you think the 18-year-old Graham would have made of Head Like a Hole as a track?
I think I'd have been blown away by the intensity, and perhaps being driven to perhaps sort of emulate that more sort of extreme type of sound,
Mhm.
which we kind of we part of our journey was we it kind of got heavier and more intense along the way. Yeah, that might have accelerated it.
And growing up, sort of in the area that you did as an 18-year-old, Graham, was Sabbath something that was on your sort of radar a fair bit, or
Yeah, they were. I mean, when I grew up at school, it was kind of different camps. There was kind of like a rock metal camp, and then there was on the other side, it was more sort of punk, new wave, sort of two tone, which was that was kind of the side I was on. So I kind of shunned the more metal type of stuff
Mhm.
when I was younger, and kind of reevaluated it as I was older, and had more sort of perspective on it. But yeah, I remember it was definitely split camps when I was at school.
Yeah, right, okay, okay. Just talking about Birmingham as well. I'm not sure if you're aware or if you know him, but Mike Skinner's in Perth, 2 or 3 days after you, in the streets. He's in Perth. He's playing the 6th, I think, in Perth. So you might still be here then if you're hanging around after your gig. Your gig's the 3rd. So yeah, he's here on the 6th.
I was thinking of Mike Skinner only yesterday, and
Oh
because
yeah.
we're busy writing new tunes, and I thought I want someone else's voice on this, and I
Mm.
thought Mike.
Oh,
So
that'd be
if you do speak
fantastic.
to him, tell him he
That'd be
needs to be
that'd
on
be a
our new
great collab. Yeah, I'll let him know. I'll let him know. Okay, track 5, Graham, is we've all done it. I know I have over the years. If you're making a mixtape to to let the listener know that you're sort of like romantically interested in them, like what would be a song that you would put on to let the listener know that you're keen?
A bit heavy, but it kind of ends in the right tone. So that would be Everybody's Been Burned by the Birds.
Okay, I don't think I know that one. I'll have to give that one a listen. Cool.
Yes,
All right.
it kind of, the lyric starts off quite sort of cynically, but it kind of twists towards the end, and it goes, but I'll love you instead. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
quite
Okay. Cool. I'll
quite
give that one a
journey,
listen. So what I
yeah.
do, if you're listening to this on the radio, then obviously you'll know because you'll have been hearing the songs in between the chat as we go through. I'll be playing the songs. If you're listening on the podcast, there is a link in the description to a separate Spotify playlist where you can just drop out of the chat. And if you want to, in between each chat, as we talk about each song, you can drop out and listen to each song that we play. Track 6, Graham, finally, is something that's a little bit left field, a B-side or an album track, or something that's not very well known, something a little bit obscure. What would you put on for that?
I'm trying to think of this. This might have been on a John Peel session. Might have to do some research, but it was a cover, as a punk cover version of Rio.
Duran.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Oh, dig
And
that one up. Yeah.
it lasts about 30 seconds. And it's like, her name is Rio, and she doesn't understand how the river does that. It might be the Stupids or somebody like that.
Okay, Graham, on that note, thanks so much for coming on the show, mate. I really appreciate your time. Looking forward to seeing you at Frio Social on the 3rd of February. Sorry, 3rd of March, isn't it? Yeah, 3rd of March at friosocial.com for tickets. Thanks, Graham. Cheers, mate. Have a good one. Safe travels. Cheers, mate. See you later. That was a Mixtape podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to jump up to the top of the page and smash that follow button, and you'll be notified every time there's a new episode. Or follow me on Instagram at the Mixtape Perf. Till the next time.